I am here.
Oh, Mike! That's what I'm gonna call you, All Mike.
I didn't think of that. I knew that. I was thinking.
that was the joke, right?
I definitely thought of that when I picked this.
Yeah, don't mind me. It's the Yandere Simulator's 5th birthday, so I'm just washing my my bits in the fountain. What?
The ceremonial washing, yes.
The fact that you're crawling and smiling at me at the same time, it's really creepy.
And when All Might gives you the look.
You've been working out, man. You are dummy thick!
I am dummy thick.
Oh, you are dummy thick. The way you just, like, put that booty right in my face.
Stop it. Get some help.
And there he is, my beautiful senpai.
I love reading. I wish I had a book.
Look at you, you look hilarious. I love that this is a thing. Every week you are a different person.
I feel great.
Just don't make me eat any of your strange hairs.
Would you like some of my hair?
Yeah, sure.
Yandere-chan, if you want Senpai,
Yes?
you got to go
Yes?
plus ultra.
Okay, does plus ultra mean dabbing?
That is not very plus ultra of you.
Oh, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Paparazz, back at it again with another one of my famous toilet vlogs. And I got a special deal for ya. If you would like the almighty Senpai as a guest for the next podcast episode, this video needs to hit 10,000 likes. Do it for my birthday. That's right, I'm 32 tomorrow. I'm an old man. I'm gonna cry now.
Oh my lord, it just makes me miss All Might. Oh, like his...
I know. Spoiler alert, All Might died.
Yeah. Yeah, guys, definitely don't look that up.
Yeah, he gave away far too many of his hairs and it was a detriment on his health.
Yeah, when he goes bald, that's when he dies.
He's like Samson from the Bible.
I don't think I heard that one.
Now that's a reference for you kids. Samson, he was this incredibly strong guy, and I think it was Delilah. I think it's Samson and Delilah. She persuaded him to cut his hair off, and when he cut his hair off, he had no strength. That was it, all his strength disappeared. It was literally in his luxurious long ass hair. Not his ass hair.
So he still had those.
Oh yeah, that was all still there. He didn't get back sack and crack, no.
You know those Bible people, there's no shaving in those days.
Those Bible people. Oh, you know those Bible people, they don't shave. So many Bible people have just unsubscribed.
Now, here's what just doesn't make sense to me.
Right.
If being bald makes you not as strong, explain One Punch Man.
Right, okay, if it reduces your power, if it reduces your natural strength, how powerful would One Punch Man be if he had hair?
If he just had one hair.
Even one hair, like he would be double the strength and he would just be like one flick man.
One flick man.
And then if he had a full head of hair, it'd be like one blow man. You can't say that.
What? One blow man. That sounds like something you'd find on a shady website.
You can't call him one blow man. That's bad.
Oh god.
It's actually just a really wholesome, family-friendly game about a guy and his saxophone.
It just takes him one blow and he's...
And all the women are moist.
I don't know how to take a spin on that, like a family-friendly spin on that one.
There isn't one. I'm dead. I was trying to write happy birthday, but I've just written hap and it looks really bad.
Hap. Instead of like saying happy birthday, just hap.
Just walk up to Yandere Dev and go, hap 5. Hap 5, Yandere Simulator. Hap 5. There's just cans getting thrown everywhere.
I'm angry.
That's not very plus ultra of you.
I didn't want you to see that.
I could probably get these Octo Boys through the basketball hoop. Hold on.
Hey, that's cheating.
She's going for the dunk, baby! Woo!
Oh, you got it. You got it.
Woo! 10,000 likes!
Maybe I can dunk myself.
Why are you dunking your balls? That's not very plus ultra of you.
I'm stuck.
I think I'm gonna have to slightly go off to the right and then yeet it. Whoa! Oh! Oh, you got it! Oh, yes! Oh, now that was plus ultra.
No, it was. Now, please help me out.
I don't know how to. You're actually 100%.
Somebody call Deku.
What's he gonna do? Cry?
His tears can moisten the rim. Oh God.
Right, my beautiful Octo Boys. as part of the 5-year Yandere-chan celebration. Not Yandere-chan celebration. It's not about her. It's not about her for once. Yandere Simulator celebration. We're going to free the Octo Boys. Yeet! Oh no, oh no. Threw them across the pool and they hit the other side. That wasn't very plus ultra of me.
No, it was not.
Welcome back once again, ladies and gentlemen, to the Yandere Simulator podcast, episode 4. And today is a very special day because we have got the Yandere Simulator 5th year anniversary party with All Mike himself.
I am here.
Today, we're going to be discussing 5 years of Yandere Simulator. I honestly, I can't believe it has been 5 years already. Probably 4.5 for myself once I learned about the game because I wasn't there right from the very beginning. It was 2015 that I actually started.
Yeah, it was like, I think it was like 14 or 15. Or, no, the game started in 14, right?
Yeah, 14.
So it was like, probably, yeah, it had to been 2015. I get my times all screwed up, but it was like, I can actually remember the first build I played. It was I think it was the one before you were able to poison Coconut.
Ah.
Yeah. I think that was that one.
My first one, I'm sure, one of my first videos, I think it was the second one, was where you could actually physically start drowning them in the fountain. Remember when the fountain used to be right out was it the front of the school? Just right there, as soon as you walked in the gates, there was a fountain.
Yep, that was good times. I remember when Coconut would just stand there.
And she'd just be like chilling, just staring at the fountain, maybe looking at her own reflection as she's crying herself after selling her unmentionables on the internet. It was good times. So, we're going to discuss today what we think about past, present, and future of Yan Sim, and well, I mean, we've enjoyed it. We're still here today.
I am here. I gotta get my Octodogs.
Save the boys. Save the boys. Tell them that you're the plus ultra hero they need. We can see them. We can see the Octodogs. They're screaming out for help. Help us, All Might.
I can't get in the water. I can't get in the water.
That's the problem. Oh no, he's there. He's got them. His hand. What? Where did they go? Okay.
My strength was a little too much for those puppies.
Out of the frying pan into the mountains, apparently. Where? I don't even know. I didn't even see where they went. They were yeeted.
What am I gonna throw now?
Oh my, you're too strong, buddy. You're too strong. You gotta rein that in. You gotta rein that in, Chief.
Okay, whoopsie, sorry.
F's in the chat, boys. F's in the chat. Speaking of elimination methods, which elimination method would be the most effective in real life for you to use?
Oh God.
Yeah, that's a nasty question. That one is. I think we're gonna want some watch lists after this.
Hypothetically speaking, my biggest enemy, my greatest enemy. If I were to do this to All for One.
Okay.
I would use. I'm trying to think. It would definitely not be the drowning one. That would be very hard to do.
You got to be really strong, and you've got to be committed. Once you're halfway through that one, there's no stopping. Like, you've got to go all the way, and people, like, you hold your breath. You can last a long time. So you're going to be there for like a good minute, just shoving somebody under the water.
Yeah, that would be a very bad way to go, by the way.
Oh, that and burning. That's horrific, which again is another elimination method in this game.
I guess the most effective one would be the poisoning, because everyone loves food. So that's kind of like the best one, and it's probably undetected, I guess. Yeah.
Like, I mean, if you're going down the horrible, nasty murder route, I mean, Michael, come on, you could have gone for the befriending technique. You went straight.
It's an elimination, so I was thinking we're gonna get rid of them.
That's your horrible, nasty villain mind. Villains do that. Heroes do not. Heroes psychologically torment.
Yeah, they do. Especially shown in anime.
That's what you gotta do. You gotta befriend the person, then you just gotta ask them nicely. Hey there, girlfriend, did you want to leave my boy alone? If you do, we're all good. If you don't, well, we'll go the Bijuu Mike route of poisoning you.
I could just punch them too.
Damn. One blow, man.
We're circling back around.
Right, okay, I've got my own question this time.
Right.
My own question. What do you think of the time frame so far in Yandere Simulator? Obviously, the game's been going on for 5 years now, and the first projected date of finish, was it 2018 or was it 2019? Technically, the game should be finished this year, according to the very first timescales. How do you feel about it?
I remember him saying 2019, I think.
Yeah, it seems to be the one that's sticking in my mind, and people thought that was a long time frame for a game to be developed in the first place, especially with other games coming out so quickly, like Five Nights at Freddy's, or you look at Kindergarten, things that have come out fairly fast compared to Yandere Simulator, and they're still created by a small team, if not by an individual.
Yeah, I think obviously the game has been expanded from what he probably originally wanted from the beginning.
Yeah.
And it's like, I would imagine if I were to create a game, I'd be like, oh, I want to add this, and I want to add this and that. And like, if anything, he's shrunk it, so the game could have taken even longer. I wanted to keep all that stuff.
That would be the hardest part for me, is that you would be developing the game, and as time goes on, I have this with my own videos, and they take so much longer than I originally intend, because you're like, that idea would be genius if I could add that in. So you start implementing that, and then either A, works, but it still takes a long time, or B, the really negative, you get halfway through it and you're like, this is not gonna work as intended, so you scrap it. So it's just wasted time then.
Well, yeah, and I think it's really important to think about the one man like team. You know, like he has to have all the ideas and everything like that. Like he doesn't have group meetings with all these people.
Exactly. At the end of the day, it's all on him. He has his volunteers to help him out. He's got the voice actors, obviously, and then he's got the people that help him out with the assets, and some of the cutscenes. The people help him out with. I think he's waiting on a couple of them. But at the end of the day, everything is on Mandary Dev himself.
Oh god, yeah, that's another thing I want to talk about. That was so funny.
That T-posing joke. His April Fools are pretty good. I do like them. But yeah, the time frame, I'm not too bothered by it, to be honest, because A, it's given us more content to do on YouTube. So from a selfish point of view, it's keeping us in a job for longer.
Well, yeah. Also, yeah, I can see why people would think that we're biased because like we make videos on the game. But no, I mean, I'm not bothered as a fan or anything like that. I don't see why you honestly should, because it's easy to say that, oh, the game should have been done, but I mean, no one really knows how much work goes into it and how much it actually takes. Like, I'm sure there's a lot of frustrating things making the game. Like, we just get it delivered to us. And also another thing, like, I guess we would have to compare it to another game. So what other game could we compare it to that would make sense?
None.
Say that it should have been done in this time frame.
None, really, because I made the comparison with Five Nights at Freddy's before with Scott, but it's completely different. Like, Scott's game was very simplistic compared to this, because you were sitting in the one room and you were looking left and right and just closing doors. So that was all done in a program called Click Team, which I think is a lot simpler to make things faster than Unity. I'm not saying it's a simpler program to use, because it's most likely not. They're different programs. But it's easier to, once you've got your assets, it's easier to put them all together. And he used the same sort of model for game to game to game. Yeah,
see, that's the thing. Like, how many 3D games come out? Not very many. Like, when you think about anime games, there's a lot of visual novels, because those are a lot easier to make.
Well, it's just art. Yeah, it's just art, and then they just switch to another frame. That's all it is.
Yeah, so when you think of a 3D game and a one-man person, the only other game that comes to mind that could be Bendy, but I think even that had a few people working on it.
Yeah, that had a team. That had a team of people.
Yeah, and also that was only story driven. Like, you're not given freedom to do things really at all.
Yeah. Like there is basically no freedom. You got the slight bits and pieces here and there for the Easter egg hunting, but still it's very static in what you can do.
Yeah, and I mean that's even that it took a few years, to finally complete and all of that, and it wasn't even that big.
Exactly. I think it's because Yandere Simulator had such a big spike in 2015/2016. It had this huge boost in popularity as Markiplier, Jack, and PewDiePie were all playing it. And it had that whole Senpai notice me culture, as the sort of Japanese style was really hitting the mainstream of America and the UK before it was all seen as just weebs if you were doing that stuff, or otakus. But it's sort of become a lot more mainstream, a lot more acceptable to enjoy the culture from over there. Instead of being called a nerd or a geek, times sort of really changed around about then on the internet. And because it hit that huge popularity, people expected the game to be out a lot quicker. And Osana, that's the big thing. I think if Osana came out a year ago and no other rivals had come out, we'd be talking about this completely differently.
Yeah, no, I agree. I would imagine when the game does go into Kickstarter, is that where it's going?
Yeah.
It's going to resurface on a lot of people's radar.
Yes.
Because people that aren't huge fans like we are of the game, that follow it like we do, I'm pretty sure it's going to come up and people are like, oh, I forgot about this game. And they'll be like, oh, it's actually done. I'm sure it'll be done within this year, at least the Kickstarter, because he sounds like he's really getting really close this time, even though he said it before.
Yeah, the thing I feel sorry for him at this point is Osana's been hyped up so much. The assets have been in the game for over a year now. Osana has been in the files for a very long time. All of her her lines and everything, or her dialogue, the whole Monday routine, it's all there. It's all ready to go. It's just not ready to be fully implemented. Is he waiting for a cutscene? Is that what it is? Something like that. He's waiting for some sort of assets to be sent to him. And he's got to do it right. He's got to please 95, if not much higher, % of the audience with the launch of Osana, because if that fails, then the Kickstarter is going to really be hampered.
Yeah, no, exactly. He's, I think he said he's gonna do the intro cutscene, so an actual intro cutscene rather than just the black.
I think so. Did Michaela not hint at that as well? They were working.
She did, huh?
Yeah, they were working on something for the intro to change that instead of it was just a black screen of and Ayano was just saying that she's a broken girl. I've not watched it for about 2 years, but yeah, it's essentially her saying she's got no feelings until suddenly one day she sees All Mic, and she's like, damn, that's a thick man. Real thick, baby.
Either way, I'm excited for it, and I always like, from what we've seen so far, I'm really excited, and I don't think it's going to be disappointing at all.
No.
I think Yandere does he has a good sense of direction of what he wants to do, and with their music and the voice actors, I'm pretty confident this could be really cool.
Yeah, I would rather wait that extra year and have an excellent game as opposed to make sure it was finished this year and have a game that was the corners had to be cut, or aspects of the game that he really would have liked to put into it had to be scrapped. I would rather wait and have it. It was one of the Nintendo guys said it's better to delay a game and have a great game than forever rush and have a forever poor game. That's a total paraphrase, by the way, but I would rather wait. I don't care.
Yeah, no, it's true.
I don't care that it's been 5 years. In fact, I'm quite enjoying the little bits and pieces. We're building up the story over time, and I can't wait for Osana to come out and see what happens after that, because once that's in, then I think the games are going to really start building up steam.
Well, I imagine when he actually gets a budget.
Yeah, and he's able to hire more people to help him out. If you need voice actors, Yandere Dev, we're here. Wink.
I just want to voice something stupid.
Yeah, just me and you can have a conversation. We can just be talking about in the gym getting swole, something like that. Just doing squats.
No, I'm very honored to just have an Easter egg in there or whatever.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. I can't.
It is really cool to be acknowledged in that way, especially as a moist tentacle boy. So it's an honor. Yandere Dev is very outspoken and communicative with the community, and sometimes that can lead him into a little bit of trouble with the things he says, but at the end of the day, he's honest. So, do you like the way he approaches the game and the way he deals with the community at times? Because he's not shy about coming forward. If he's got something to say, he'll say it. So do you prefer the honesty, or would you rather he handled us with a little bit more kid gloves?
Kid gloves? Well, I think he's getting better at it. I think he's getting better at, I don't know. I guess, I don't know if the word is being more sensitive to people or things like that, but I think it's probably been an adjustment period for him.
Of course.
I would imagine.
Because you go from one day creating an idea for a game like you did. What was it 4chan? Is that where it started?
Yeah, 4chan. That's what I think.
You come up with an idea, a couple of people are like, yeah, that sounds dope, that sounds like a really good idea. You start developing it, and then all of a sudden, PewDiePie plays your game. And I can't remember what sub count he was on at that point. Must have been, 15 million? 10 million, something like that, some crazy. He put it out there for millions to see, and then obviously then you get all of these people in. And although the game is meant to be for a more mature audience, there are a lot of younger fans because of the subject matter in the game. It's very it appeals to a range of audiences. So there are going to be a lot of younger fans, and that is hard to deal with at times because, I mean, me and you, we both know, like, the comment section can be terrible at times. It could be really awful, especially if you get a video that starts trending and all these new people come in and they've got their words to say and they're not shy about coming forward.
Yeah, I think fan interaction, it's great, and it could be like a really, really amazing tool for like feedback and things like that. But I know, like, as an artist, as a person that wants to create something, if you put too much fan feedback, then it just becomes a mess.
Yeah.
And you kind of forget the goal that you wanted to do. So I think that Yandere Dev should probably stick to his picture that he has in his mind, and I'm sure that it'll be good enough.
Yeah,
whatever it is.
Like, he has attempted to do the polls every so often, and I like that. I like that about him, that he has given the audience a chance to input what they would like into the game. But at the end of the day, it's his vision. He knows exactly what he wants to do with the game, and there have been some examples where these sort of polls or community feedback has helped. Was it to do with the censoring of certain unmentionable shots? A lot of people didn't like that idea that was the only way of currency. So that changed. There was all around censoring happened, obviously, because of the whole YouTube thing. I think that was the main thing. And then, then the bugs was implemented. It made Yandere Dev think about another way for us to earn currency, because maybe that isn't because Twitch had that big issue with that, didn't they? That the only currency was taking shots at people's undergarments.
Yeah, it's a little sad, because like I know that probably Yandere Dev wanted to make sort of like a GTA sort of game, like as far as the humor, like, you know, I think there's a place for it. I think there's a place for a game to be for adults and to be, like, you know, pretty raunchy. It's a video game.
Yeah, but I think it's just because of the setting. I think it's because
I will say that
it is entirely because of the setting. If they set this at college or university or at Walmart, like, it would be completely different. But
I'll just be All Might at the door, greeting people.
Coming in, selling your bargains. We've got some toilet roll over here on a Plus Ultra offer of $69. That's an expensive pile of toilet roll.
That's the change that Yandere Dev needs to make. He needs to take that feedback and change the school to Walmart.
There you go. Academia High no more. It's Walmart.
Yeah, I can see though. That was a good point about the school setting. I can see why people wouldn't be okay with that.
Because he had to put that message in at the start of the game that everybody's depicted, unless otherwise stated, that everybody is over the year 18 years old.
All the anime games got to do that now these days anyway.
Yeah, at the end of the day, there's no like raunchy content, really. There's no overly raunchy stuff. It's just because of some of the subject matter. Overall, I like the way that he interacts with the audience. Yes, he could be a bit too harsh at times, but it must be stressful for him because he has a lot of things going on in the background, targeted things going on in the background that we don't always see. We've seen little trickles here and there of bits of drama that comes out, or in quotations, drama that comes out, which must be mentally very exhausting to deal with.
Yeah, because this is all he's known for 5 years.
Yeah. So,
and to have, like, you know, the only thing that you focus on turning into a bad experience for him, like, that must be hard, I would imagine.
Yeah, it would straight up make you not want to do it.
Yeah, because like that, like, imagine like your life. This is your life. It's everything you pretty much know. And then it's like, and then that happens. Like, I can imagine, like, that's literally like your world turning upside down. Like that would be hard. I mean, sure, some of it probably was self-inflicted, but I think overall, this think he's a good guy, I'm sure.
Yeah, he's doing the best he can, and that's all you can do. I love the updates on the blog. I think that's a great way to interact with people. That's, again, we were talking about the difference between indie and AAA. Right there, he's showing us by communicating via YouTube videos, because I really enjoy them, and then communicating via his blog posts. It's a great way of keeping us updated with the game, keeping us updated with his ideas, and keeping us updated with what's to come in the near future. So we're not left completely in the dark. And that's, again, with his... And he tries to do 2 big updates a month, and it's become less and less as the jobs he's got to do. The list is becoming harder and harder, but he still gets out quite a few builds a month, and that's what has helped the game become so popular. Is because there's been new things over and over again for us to cover, and for other people to play, and other people to find the secrets, like Fun Girl in the files.
Yeah, it's all about the content. That's what I've realized with Fortnite. That's why it's so popular, because of all the content that gets updated.
Exactly, and again, I'm going back to Five Nights at Freddy's because that's where I started my channel, really. That's why that became so popular, because once the first game was finished, he'd started working on the second game. He started putting teasers out, which was kind of like a community hype building. Then the game would come out, and then it wasn't that long until the third game came out, and then the fourth game, and they all came out in such quick succession. The audience was hungry for it, the audience was waiting for it, the audience was hyped for the next part of the story, and that's what people are like for Yandere Simulator. It's tailored off a little bit, but once, again, as you said, when Osana comes out, when the Kickstarter starts moving on, it's going to get huge.
I think it will, because there's no other competition out there. Like, what is there? There's nothing.
Nothing for this type of game. Let's go and have a jacuzzi. Come on. Join me in my bath all night. You can't quite get in there. Okay.
This is as far as I can go.
Your knees are nice and moist. Oh, you're just in the wall now. Wall mite.
Wow.
Oh, straight up wall mite. What do you think would be the best way to eliminate Megami Psycho, since she would probably be the hardest rival to get rid of?
I wonder how that's gonna go. I feel like that will probably be the rival where you probably end it on like a button pressing mini game or something like that, because it's the last rival. It's I don't know.
That sounds like it's gonna be a big showdown.
Yeah, I feel like it's gonna be that'll probably be the only rival that'll be like a set elimination, maybe. I don't know how the game's gonna be.
Well, by that point in the game, you've eliminated 9 people. 9 people in 9 weeks have gone missing. Like, she's gonna be like top level on her game. The reason she's not at school to start with is because there's some sort of suspicion about us going on already. So
yeah,
like, by the time she comes along, there's going to be so many security measures in place that you can't get away with doing anything. And she's not going to accept any new friends, is she? So it's not like we can befriend her and be like, hey, Megami, let's go for pizza, and then just smack her over the back of the head with a day-old bit of crust.
Yeah, because it was established already just by the laptop that she knows everything.
She knows.
She's like, I know who you are. I'm not
exactly.
Your crap.
So she's just waiting for the opportunity. She's gathering evidence to put us in jail. That's her whole thing, from the sound of things. So she's not going to accept. She knows who we are. So to get rid of us, she is going to try and get us in prison. Get us locked away, and for us to get rid of her, she's gotta go bye-bye. That's literally the only way.
Yeah, well, have you checked Fun Girl's files lately? Like the fun text?
Yes, probably. I don't think, unless there's been one in the most recent, not the Mandary build, but the one before that.
Yeah, well, it talks a lot about the grandpa.
Yeah, like, so they must know a lot about that sort of time period. Well, that's what it was, wasn't it? What was it, a time machine? Is that was that what he was messing with?
I feel like it seems like it's gonna get pretty crazy because they have all this technology. I mean, why not time machine?
Exactly. It was something to do with that, and something went wrong, and it sounded like it sounded like Fun Girl became something else, whether it was a ghost, whether it was just her soul has been released from her body. But then, if you look at, is it Fun Girl File 666? Is that what it is? And when it says, you guys believe anything I say? So it's hard. It's almost like if the idea doesn't work out, Yandere Dev's got himself a backup plan just to say, fooled you, lol, JK, this was nothing. I'd be really disappointed in him if that's what it turned out. But it does leave a little bit of doubt and leave a little bit of mystery in there that Fun Girl could be real, but she's not who she says she is.
Well, yeah. Have you also noticed that he hasn't said anything? He doesn't update anything with the Fun Girl. That's the one thing, because like everything's pretty transparent for the most part, like with all the updates. But that's the one thing that he's kept a secret.
He never says anything.
Yeah.
I want personally, because Fun Girl's kind of like an afterthought for everybody. Like, you do your video, you explore everything, and then after your third video on the new update, you're like, oh, Fun Girl's a thing. I want Fun Girl to be present in the game somehow, somewhere, even if it is some sort of secret code that tells you to go and search the files. Because I love checking the file. I love games like that. Doki Doki did it brilliantly. Yeah. Five Nights at Freddy's had secrets in the files. These kind of things are brilliant. And then you got Yandere Dev doing a very similar thing with Fun Girl. It's such a cool way of telling a story out with the game. And but there needs to be more in the game to remind us to go and check out the files, I think.
Yeah, the story really intrigues me, because like you would think it would just be about, oh, it's like Senpai and it's Yandere-chan, but no, there's so much more going on with the headmaster and all that. It's a great story.
I think it's important. You got to have backstory to the game, and I think again, it's not just about Senpai notice me. It is the backstory as well, to do with the Psycho Corporation, to do with Yandere-chan's mum, to do with the headmaster. We still don't know everything about him. He's got a rich story as well. You got the guidance counselor who has a thing for the bullies, not in a nasty way, but she feels guilty and she feels responsible for them. And it's because of all this backstory that Yandere-chan then learns about it and then can use that. Because at some point we'll probably get the right bit of information to either save us from being expelled from the headmaster, or blackmailing the headmaster, or getting some sort of information out of the headmaster because we know information about him. So because of all this, because of the rich backstory, it makes it way more interesting to the player, because if it is just literally Osana's here, by Friday, get rid of her, that would get boring after the first two. So you would get rid of Osana, you get rid of Amai, maybe Kazana comes along and you're still having fun, but after that, I can't even remember who's fourth. After that, you would get bored. By the time you got to the supply teacher, the nurse, you just wouldn't be bothered. It wouldn't interest you anymore.
Well, another thing to think about is that there's going to be multiple endings. So, like, in a way, you probably could just do that, and you could just eliminate them, and it's like, oh, happy ending. But there's also, like, probably going to be more endings. You know, things could go bad, and I think there's like a flow chart that he showed. I remember showing all like the different things.
Well, it's because of the type of game it is. You've got it's almost. I'm just going to put it in the terms that's very simple. You got a pacifist route, in which you'll go ahead, you'll win Senpai via blackmail and expulsion and befriending and setting people up. He's already put all of these family-friendly methods into the game, so there'll be a way that you can eliminate each rival without moidering. And then there'll obviously be the dark route, in which you just flat out just rip everybody. So did he not? I think there was was it? And now I'm getting confused here because I've played so many Yandere fan games. But was it a fan game, or was it something that Yandere Dev said? That if you go ahead and there's 9, or by the time you confess that 10 people have gone bye-bye, that he's too scared to start a relationship because everybody's linked to him.
Oh yeah, that's an interesting. I don't know if he said that. I probably didn't.
I think that was the fan game, the 80s mod. I think that's what it was, but I don't know if that's based off of anything Yandere Dev said. Either way, that's a very interesting idea. If you go ahead, if you do like a dark route and the school atmosphere is like 0, like he's going to be too scared because he knows Osana, best friend, Amai offering him cookies in the backyard, Kazana just, I don't know, proposing to him because she's that dramatic. All these people linked to him. You're going to be suspicious.
Yeah, I always thought that too. I always thought the same exact thing. Like maybe Senpai's maybe he's portrayed to be kind of stupid and like clueless, but maybe he's gonna know a little more.
I think he's just naive as opposed to clueless or stupid. I think he's just a lad that keeps to himself. Again, we don't really know much about him apart from his average looks, average grades, and what was it? Average something. He's just a generally average person according to InfoChan. But to that one person, you are like A+. You are plus ultra to that one person. That's Yandere Senpai to Yandere-chan. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where all of this goes. It's a game with so much potential.
Yeah.
And it's just taken longer than expected. But I would rather see that potential fulfilled than falling short and being a B grade student like myself.
I think that it should not be rushed at all. Even if the fans get angry, they will be so much more happy. They just don't know it. But they will.
It's the impatience that is getting to people, I think, because they expect it. If Yandere Dev said it was coming out in 2020, he wouldn't have the issues he's having today, I don't think. But because he said 2019... But it was an ambitious project, and this is his first huge, full-length game. Like, you're going to come across issues, you're going to come across things that you didn't know how to do, you're going to have to learn so many different things. You can't fault him. At the end of the day, I trust that he's working too much and making himself unhealthy than being lazy, like some people have suggested out there.
No, yeah, I don't think so either. It's a pretty big deal, and I don't think anyone to work this long on purpose, you know?
No.
Like, I don't think he's trying to like screw off and waste time.
No, like I think he loves the project too much for that. I'm sure he's getting frustrated at the length of time, because I think he mentioned that in his latest post as well. He wants the game to be finished. One, because he envisaged it to be further along by this point in time. And two, I'm sure he wants to move on to other things. He'll have ideas for other games that he wants to make. And you don't want to be doing the same thing for your entire life. Final question. Timescale so far, when do you estimate the game could be finished?
I go for like 2020 or like 21.
I could see it coming out at the start of 21.
Yeah,
I could see
probably something like that.
If he gets the Kickstarter out towards the end of this year, then that gives him a year to finish everything off. So if Osana's implemented, and I'm sure I remember reading or seeing that once Osana's in, that means the first rival's implemented, and then he can take a lot of that code and change it up for the rest of the rivals. So once Osana's implemented, then I think the ball will start getting up some real steam. Is that an expression? Yeah. I don't know. I know the ball rolling and picking up steam are expressions, but I think I put them together.
The ball makes steam.
My balls make steam.
Steamy balls.
That's what you're doing just now in this hot tub.
I am. I'm steaming my balls. You look so funny. I wish you could see yourself, because like you have like the weirdest stance right now.
I kind of saw it when we had that mirror out when I crouch. Yeah. It looks weird.
It's a very weird position. It's like you have some major scoliosis.
It's my back problems. It's because I've been carrying this game for 5 years. Well, happy 5th birthday, Yandere Simulator. Any final words, All Mike?
Happy birthday, 5 years, like you said. I don't think... I'm just excited for the game, and like you said, like we said before, I don't want it to be rushed, and I don't think Yandere Dev should beat himself up too much over it. I just think that he didn't know what this was actually going to take. It was a big scale project, but that doesn't mean it's not going to be amazing.
Exactly.
I think it's going to be great.
Yeah, I've enjoyed these past, well, it'd be 4 years for me, not quite 5, but it's not going to be another 5 years, but I'm looking forward to the future next couple of years, and I cannot wait to play the final product after investing so much time into it. I mean, Yandere Dev can't wait for the final product, so as fans, we're really excited to see where the game goes. So congratulations, Yandere Dev, for achieving 5 years on a project, even though it seems like it's a long time, and that's probably getting you down because you want it to be further along. Just remember, if you watch this, I don't know, you might not, just remember that you got so many fans out there, and to keep them captivated for 5 years, some people, is a massive massive thing. So this is something to be praised.
Exactly.
I've enjoyed this bath time with you.
As have I.
A little bit disappointed you kept your clothes on though.
My suit is very comfy.
Oh, sorry, I didn't realize it was a tattoo.
It basically is.
Yeah, I can see your six-pack. Hey, turn. Can't bend over. I'm staring into the black hole of All Might.
All but.
Oh, all but. He's just thick. Happy 5 years, guys.